80% of what you're normally doing is something that you're not really good at, and it's something that you don't care to do. So then you just wonder, why am I even doing this? How can I not do this? And then you find superpowers.
I'd rather be sidelined trying to achieve greatness than watch greatness achieved and it only set on the sideline. Now introducing your host, Jacob Emery.
This episode of the Iron and Infrastructure Podcast is brought to you by Unlocking Greatness with Jacob Emery, a coaching community built for those ready to become the strongest version of themselves. Weekly calls, proven playbooks, and a community built to grow. Greatness is not given, it's unlocked. Join us today at jacobemery.com or DM coach at jacobemery44 on all social media platforms.
Welcome back to another edition of the Iron and Infrastructure Podcast. Today's episode, it's super powered. It's super powered with superpowers. What the hell does that mean? So whenever you go into entrepreneurship, you normally go into it for freedom, primarily freedom of time. You want to be able to do things on the time of your choosing, where you don't have to clock in and clock out. You don't need someone else's time to dictate your terms in life. You want to buy back your time. That's what you think is going to happen. That's the natural assumption, is that you are going to be able to control what you want, when you want, how you want it because of time, because you're on your own. You're a business owner. You think, I'll just work hard and then I'll get back my time, but you underestimate what it actually takes. And it takes so much more than just hustle. It takes so much more than hard work. You can do a lot of things, but you can't do a lot of things great, more than likely. I can only do a few things very well, and that's why I try to stick to them. Between the pipeline business, having a podcast, a coaching business, having other companies that I'm a shareholder of, I have a lot of things going on. I thought these things would provide me freedom. I thought it would give me superpowers. This feeling of having superpower, because I have all these business interests. 4 or 5 business interests, I have this, I have that. I got it going on. Well, I did until I didn't. And what actually happens is you create chaos in your life because you have the inability to control it. And primarily for myself, my inbox, my scheduling, I would overcommit to things. I would not stick to the commitments I had because I wouldn't remember to put them in my calendar. My inbox would be full. I'd forget to respond. I was putting energy in things that I absolutely despise doing. Anything admin related, responding to emails, setting up calendar invites, hated it. In 2023, I took on that podcast and I started this next thing, and all for the right reasons. The intent has been right, but the impact has been so wrong for me until I unlocked a superpower. It flipped the script. I knew I couldn't do it, but I didn't know how to have someone else help me or who to help me. And then I got introduced to this company. And if you could believe this or not, it's actually called Superpowers. I reached out to my strategic coach advisor asking for help. I need help to find me a who can manage me. I need an executive assistant that can be a partner to me and that can help me manage me in my chaos. I don't need someone to help accelerate the chaos. I need someone to slow me down, organize it, and help me do what's right, not what feels right in the moment. I need to focus on what's important, not what's urgent. So today I'm going to share what happened since I began working with superpowers, since I took this superpowered journey, and since I delegated and elevated in my life. I used to be drowning in my daily pursuit. I would do things that didn't matter as much, that didn't have a high return on investment, but felt like they were important in that moment. It impacted my professional life, impacted my personal life. I felt like I couldn't get out of my own way. I was tripping over my own feet. I was absolutely buried. And then superpowers came along. And I thought, Jesus, take the wheel. Whatever it takes to get this thing mitigated, I'm good with. The first and foremost, most important thing that I did, I had trust. And I said, you know what? I am an admin dumpster fire. Hell, I'm an admin kitchen fire. I'm not going to try to be that person. And I'm not going to try to tell that person how to do what they're good at. I'm not good at it. If I was, I wouldn't need an EA. So what did I do? Took the keys out, handed them to the EA, let them drive. Because I am not the driver in that area. I'll drive the idea, but not the implementation, not the development, not the back office stuff. So the chaos before my clarity. The reality of being an entrepreneur is we were just most likely crazy. We had a lot of ideas, a lot of things. More likely got ADD, like myself, and you're going down so many different areas of thought process throughout a day that it's really hard to get anything accomplished. You've been determined to get some success in your life, and so you've worked hard with determination, but what got you to the place you're at now will not get you to the place you want to go. Trust me when I say this. You first start out, it's like drinking from a fire hose. It's so much information to consume, it's so much growth, and you just have a lot of hard work. You gotta be available to the people that count on you, you gotta be available to the ones that matter inside the business, and you gotta focus on whatever's in front of you. When you first buy a business, it's putting out fires for the very beginning of it because it is normally pretty chaotic. But then things start to slow down, and this is where the noise starts coming in. Hard work becomes the thing that sets you back. It's not how hard can you work? There's no badge of honor for 17 hours a day. And what happens is you work 17 hours a day and you have 4 different hats that you wear and you got all these different responsibilities, but you're not actually doing one of them very well because they're all pulling you apart, pulling you thin. I remember when we first implemented an operating system, and I was in the visionary role, and then I was in the business development role at the same time, and then it was sales and marketing, all these different roles. None of them got my full attention. I didn't do well in any of them because I was in too many seats. And so we started to bring on people and started to build the team around us. And eventually it got better because having one role, one responsibility, one thing that you're focused on is where most people miss that next level of growth. Eventually, you just hit a ceiling. It's burnout, it's lack of production. The harder you work, the less you actually get done. You miss opportunities because your email inbox is full. You don't have a calendar invite anymore that is meaningful. You forget to put things in your calendar. You miss scheduled meetings. You miss regular meetings. You miss time with your family. You miss collecting on paychecks. You miss invoices. You miss so many things because you're living through chaos and you have no clarity. You start to wonder, what am I even doing this for anymore? I started out on this journey so I didn't have this happen. Now it's worse than it was when I worked for someone else. You rush around from meeting to meeting. You forget where you put your notes at. You don't take good notes during the meeting because you're so scatterbrained and focused on everything else. And it just starts to wear you out because you know this isn't what it's about. You know that you're doing something wrong, but you can't see the system when you're inside of it. You can't look outside the tunnel when you're in the tunnel. And it becomes catastrophic because your mindset starts to wonder why you're doing it. You start to question if you can do it. There's no way out. This is just what it is. And then you start having doubt. And what you end up realizing when you do actually take a moment to sit back and say, hey, I need to just get clear on what I'm doing. 80% of what you're normally doing is something that you're not really good at. And it's something that you don't care to do. So then you just wonder, why am I even doing this? How can I not do this? And then you find superpowers. I talked to my coach advisor, recommended Superpowers. Stephen Nooner, one of the owners of Superpowers, was my coach and strategic coach, and I didn't even know it. Stephen Nooner, didn't even know it. Started talking, started in between quarters of coach. I started going back and forth, trying to figure it out. And then I realized I need to treat myself like an entity, like I'm the business, and I need a COO. I need someone to run my life for me because I'm not very good at running my own life. I leave strategic coach that day, and I'm just like, I got to check out those superpowers. What's it all about? I had heard of it. I know it. My advisor told me. And then I downloaded the PDF, the audiobook. I'm listening to the audiobook as I'm walking through the airport. As I'm walking through the airport, I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm like, this is what I need. This is where it's at. This is the thing I've been looking for because the pain wasn't just a professional pain. It was a personal pain too. Everything was starting to go downhill. I was starting to lose my passion for what I was doing, mentally, physically being drained every day. And then I realized that moment in the airport, I'm walking back from coach. I hear a quote and I thought, holy shit, that sounds like something I would say. That sounds like something I would say. Superpowers changed my life. Superpowers was absolutely incredible. And what I realized was I needed a COO to manage me. It's okay to be chaotic, but you have to have self awareness enough to understand how to work through it. Superpowers is a company that provides fully equipped virtual assistants that are absolutely amazing. They are specifically hired to fit you. It's not a one size fits all, everybody. And I'm here to tell you if you have an assistant that has 2 people that they're working for and the people are completely different, you probably don't have a good setup. The whole mission is to help us achieve levels of freedom and growth that we signed up for at the beginning, but we were never able to accomplish because first and foremost, we're chaos starters. We start fires. We need someone to mitigate the temperature. So we want freedom. We want growth. We want to work by doing our unique ability, doing what we're really good at and not doing a whole lot of anything else. Because if we're really good at something, we should be really great at it eventually. So let me tell you how this worked out for me. 2023, I got chaos going on. I started the Iron and Infrastructure podcast. I started doing a bunch of different things and I didn't know how to do any of it. I surely didn't know how to manage it. Superpower said it's going to take probably 3 to 4 weeks at the beginning. to get you signed up with the right person. At first I thought this is going to take forever, but then I realized the method behind the madness was elite level. They don't just hand someone a resume of you. They don't just tell you, here's someone that we have on layaway that'll work. This might fit. This might work out. No, they are very strategic in their approach. They specify your needs to the marketplace and they meet the need in the marketplace with the individual that fits you best, not someone that just can fit with what they already have available. So they go out to the marketplace, they find the EA that's going to fit you at the highest level. And I'll be honest, at first it's terrifying because you're really handing the keys to the car over to someone else. If you let go of the control, if you just trust the process, the quicker you trust it, the quicker that you execute at the next level. You have to believe in the superpowers. I'm here to tell you, you'll feel like you have superpowers after 90 days. It didn't take long and things started to get really easy. This meeting I would have forgot about, the inbox that was always so full that I never would look at it because I wouldn't even know where to start clearing it out at. Stuff I would miss, dates on the calendar I didn't have, it was all there and I didn't do it. I'm not going back and forth on all these preparation documents. It's already there for me. Unread emails, I didn't really have any. I don't go in my email inbox anymore. Priorities listed out, to-dos in a list, to-dos marked off the list. Every day I know exactly what I need to do. This is awkward. I'm not hating these things that I used to hate so much, but I just hate them because I was no good at them. I have a COO. I have someone that is the chief operating officer of Jacob Emery. And I thought, wow, this is pretty neat. This is what everyone's been talking about, freedom and growth. So things progress. When I needed some research done, when I needed something scheduled, when I needed an inbox cleared out, when I needed emails sent, when I needed invites sent out, I needed gifts, I needed Christmas things, I needed this, I needed that. It was already done for me. And most of the time it was done before I even remembered to have it done or to have a reminder out. I could focus on things that actually made an impact, that I'm actually good at. It wasn't just me doing everything. It was me doing very little, but doing it really well. I got my personal life back on track. I started to have this freedom that I wanted to have before. It doesn't mean I had balance. I don't really believe in true balance. I believe intentional attention. I was able to focus on what I was doing when I was doing it. So when I was there in the moments with my family, I was fully there and present. I hadn't had that for a while. I wasn't 1 foot in and 1 foot out on what I left behind me that day. Or I wasn't remembering that I forgot something at 8 o'clock at night when I'm trying to watch a movie with my kids. I started to feel like I had superpowers. So what makes superpowers different than just having some virtual assistant, some random person that helps you out, Mary down the street that comes in that works at your office? They have a curriculum called the 3 Cs. And it is that curriculum, the coaching and the community. Superpowers is co-owned by 2 entrepreneurs that are coaches that have been part of a lot of different ventures in life, and they have a lot of skills. My coach and strategic coach, Stephen Nooner, is one of them. And I cannot think of a better coach that I've ever met. First and foremost, these EAs are not just people who know how to use a calendar. Superpowers puts their EAs through what they call Superpowers University. They have master classes, playbooks, and they have continuous training. It never ends. They are trained to handle your reputation. They are reputation management, marketing, research, social media, process documents. They come equipped with proven systems that work. That's why it's so powerful. That's why they have superpowers. Second's the coaching. Your EA gets one-on-one mentorship to accelerate their growth. And that directly benefits you, the entrepreneur. Superpowers also provides amazing delegation coaching, which I just went through and it was incredible. So they teach you, the entrepreneur, how to delegate tasks appropriately. Because I can tell you one thing, I think the biggest problem with the EA entrepreneur partnership is the entrepreneur, not the EA. Most of us entrepreneurs are terrible at delegating. We don't have clear boundaries of what the outcome should look like. We don't have a true understanding of what done looks like. And quite frankly, we don't know how to communicate very well. We just skip steps and put things together, but it doesn't make any damn sense. Sometimes we have to slow down. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Superpowers teaches you how to effectively hand things off so they actually get done right the first time. So you don't have to repeat yourself in frustration. And third is the community. Community is so important. Your EA is part of a powerful network, top performing EAs. If they run into a problem, it's probably already been solved before. They have the entire community to reach out to, that they have opportunities to get through this thing you don't even know about. That's the beautiful part. the community helps everyone else out. So they all have scenarios that they're challenged with, and they have people that back them up. They don't need your help getting through it. They're going to have it solved for you, even though it was a problem. The lesson here is that you really can't scale your business or have your freedom that you are desiring if you are the bottleneck. And most entrepreneurs are the bottleneck in their own business. If you're the one doing a $15 an hour task, you are costing your company money and you are costing yourself your freedom. Buy back your time. Be willing to spend money as an investment to invest back in time for you to have. Your unique ability is your superpower. What are you naturally amazing at? What are you really, really good at? Everything else is just a distraction. You have to find the ability to focus on that unique ability and that unique ability only. When you align your goals to your calendar, delegate it, the rest of what you had to do before is now trusted with a highly trained professional. And quite frankly, just to be blunt, they are so much better at what they do than we ever were. I will never be good at admin tasks. I will never be good at organization. When it comes to follow through, if you know the Colby Index, I'm a 2. That's the kitchen fire. Shortcut, multitask, not quality organization. So not only do you buy back time, but then you buy back clarity. You buy back balance or focus or the ability to be intentional. You buy back your sanity. Because I can tell you there for a while, I was going insane. So if you're a business owner, if you're just a business leader, if you're overwhelmed with what you're doing, listening to this right now, you're nodding your head and you're relating to me. Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. I feel that. I understand it. I can never get my head above water. I'm always buried in all these things. I miss all these opportunities. I can't get my life on track. And the more that I do, the more buried I become. If your to-do list has 5 things on it, and you do one, and then you look at your to-do list and you mark off 1, which should equal 4, but you actually have 7 or 8 more because the list keeps getting longer. You're never going to catch up. You need superpowers. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over, never getting a result you want and expecting it to change. Sometimes you have to really look at what's going on and be willing to say, I'm not that good at this, and that's okay. If I want to be great at something, though, I have to get this gone off my plate. I have to take this responsibility away from myself. You need to stop trying to manage your own chaos and start celebrating growth with acceleration through superpowers. You need an executive assistant. The number one hire that you can ever make is a good EA. When you want to grow, you will not do it if you're doing it all yourself. The executive assistant is also an accountability partner. They keep you in line and make sure you're doing what you need to do. They see when you're struggling. They know the cues when you're frustrated. They keep you in check. Because another thing that us entrepreneurs also struggle with is true self-awareness and internal accountability. We often know what we're doing, and we often know when we're doing too much, or we're stepping back in the business and we shouldn't, or we're micromanaging, we're lacking trust or lacking faith, or whatever it may be. I cannot recommend Superpowers enough. I've already recommended it to a lot of people. I think 5 or 10 people have signed up because of that recommendation, and you just got to have the faith to take the keys out the car and let the EA drive. You sit in the back and talk about the destination. Let them drive and navigate through the ups and downs, the detours, the turns. Let them navigate the schedule. Let them navigate the communication. It will change everything for you. Having the right EA has fundamentally changed everything in my life, personal and professional. The carryover from the professional side to the personal side was unseen at first. I didn't think the impact would be so massive, and it was. Hell, the personal side was just as big as the professional side because now I, as the entity, Jacob Emery, have management, have clarity, have organization in my life. And no matter how many things I open up as opportunities, I have a system check now. Does this fit the big picture? No. Is this the best move for you? Talk about superpowers. When you have someone that will call you out because that's what you want, someone that will tell you, hey, you might want to think about this and reconsider. That's what it is supposed to look like. It's by design. If you take the first step, if you're interested, I cannot recommend enough. 30 minutes of your time, a 30-minute conversation. I want you to take the first step today, a 30-minute conversation to see if this is the right fit. If you go to superpowershq.com/Jacob-Emery, you can get a free 30-minute discovery call. Book a discovery call today. Learn how they can match you with the right fit EA. You want to accelerate your growth. You can't do it without a right fit EA. And I'm promising you this right now. It's well worth the investment. The question is, it's not, can I afford to do this? It's, can I afford not to do this? If you don't invest in yourself, as a business leader, how can you expect anyone else to invest in you? Get out of the weeds of what you hate. The misery of doing something you're not good at and you don't love, stop. It's not worth it. Relinquish control of the things that you suck at because you suck at them. And that's just reality. Trust me, nobody is worse than that kind of stuff than me. Do not become the bottleneck in your own life because ultimately it's your fault no matter what. If you're not good at something, let someone that is try it out for you. I promise you'll never look back. I can guarantee success for you in all these areas. If you delegate, and you will elevate. Go to superpowershq.com/Jacob-Emery and learn what it feels like to gain superpowers. As I was walking through the airport after one of my coach visits, I remember getting the book Superpowered. It was probably a year or so into having my EA. Life is good. Things are going great. And I'm listening to the audio, walking through the airport, and I pause right in the middle of the airport. I almost got ran over by 100 people. Good thing I'm big and it didn't hurt me, but I'm pausing for a minute and I'm stuck in place. And as I'm listening to this book, I hear this quote. I thought, man, that sounds an awful lot like me. That sounds like something I would say. Lo and behold, with an assistant, you don't have to worry about pain points anymore because someone you trust is handling better than you could. Man, that sounds like something I would say. Lo and behold, it was me. And that's when I knew I had discovered the true superpowers that I had been always looking for. Us chaotic entrepreneurs, a visionary with chaos, without clarity. It's a hamster wheel to hell. You need superpowers. Stop being the bottleneck in your own life. Go to superpowershq.com/Jacob-Emery. If you're a business leader, delegate so you can elevate, live within your unique ability, and get the freedom you actually want and deserve. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, first and foremost, you have worked way too hard not to have the freedom that you desire to have. This is another edition of the Iron and Infrastructure Podcast sponsored by Superpowers. Go to superpowershq.com/Jacob-Emery. Schedule a free 30-minute call that will help you for the rest of your life. Do it today. Don't wait.
Stop telling yourself one day. It isn't about one day, it's about day one. Today should be your day one. What you need isn't another day. What you need is clarity with the community to give you confidence to unlock your greatness. That's what the group coaching program is all about. Confidence, clarity, via commitment. Hit the show link in the notes. Let's start unlocking your greatness now, today.